This feature in Straits Times came out in 2022, and it was just by chance that, well, later you'll learn that I was from EDB, and one of my colleagues is a columnist in the Straits Times. And I sat down, and then he said, you should talk to my editor in the Straits Times. And she was looking for people who were during COVID who actually pivot out of corporate world or basically just went and do something completely different in their lives. So I was with EDB for 6 years. I was working for the government after I graduated. And this very, very stone looking, we were doing the Asian aerospace. So at that point, there was a lot of activities. And then I did this for a while, and I decided that after 6 years, the government gave me good exposure, good training. I then decided I wanted to go to private sector. So I made a conscious change to jump out during 2000. After NUS, I had a computer science degree, and 2000 is the dot-com era. So that's where, I guess, I took the opportunity, and that's it. I'm off. I went to work for Pepsi Cola, very privileged to work Pepsi Cola. After Pepsi Cola, I also did Unilever. So very, very big companies. So you then go graduate from public sector, you think you got promoted to private sector, and then you go all the way up. And then after you get so burnt out, you go, I don't care what the name of the company is, I just go and work with some company that make Imperial ladder soap. Okay, so it's when you get into the rat race in corporate, you just keep going and you go higher and higher and higher. It's almost like an addiction. So you go up so high that you just can't stop yourself. But I think the point where I actually realized it was so much to go was when I reached my highest point in Unilever, where I had a global role, and I woke up one day and I didn't know where I was. And with the time zone, I was Russia, America, South America, all the way to Australia. So basically, I had no life, literally. Yeah, I only did 6 months of that. And I said, there's no amount of money you can pay for me to live like that beyond 6 months, because I just didn't even know where I was. I mean, that was how bad it was. Okay, so in the first picture you saw, I was with this surfboard, okay? It actually goes back to, like Clement say, a lot of things you do is what you really wanted to be long time ago, and when we go older now, it all comes flashing back. So I've always been very sporty in my life, so that has been something that actually kept my sanity throughout my whole entire corporate life. I always had a sport to keep me grounded, and keep me fit. I actually pivoted 3 times. It's something in behind your mind that if tomorrow you didn't need to work, what would you be rather doing? Okay, so when I realized that I couldn't go on at this highest level, and I knew what I really enjoyed doing if I was not working corporate was obviously doing sports. But I think the truth of pivoting is that you don't pivot overnight. So as mentioned, I did it 3 times, meaning to say I actually voluntarily quit or took a sabbatical, packed up, and just went. And I did not even have to think about the consequences. In 2014, I pivoted and I set up Rock Surf Chill. Because I like surfing, so I always wanted to surf. So I said, and I always wanted to do rock climbing. So I set up a little company where I bring people to go learn surfing and do rock climbing, because that is something that I love to do and I want to share. So in 2014, the first pivot, the first thing you will feel is that your bank account only goes one way. There's no incoming, everything goes outgoing, especially when you travel outgoing. So I think that's the first thing that you will feel the pinch about. And then you get scared, then you go back to corporate, and then after that you feel, oh my God, okay, it's horrible again, and then you pivot again. And then I went back again, and out again. This was the first pivot, and you're still quite young and you're still very marketable. There's still money to be made, so you won't be so silly as to just go out and just leave it, right? So what you do, you send out your CV before you go for your sabbatical. On the second pivot, then I started the kettlebell business. It was a fitness business, and I liked doing that, but I did many other things, but I just fell in love with this kettlebell business. And And I was doing it literally part-time, and then I also took up a personal trainer certification just for the fun of it. Then the Indonesia one was the last one because I left Singapore in 2000. I spent 16 years abroad building my career on my own. And when I came back, I packed up and came back to Singapore, and I said, it's also one of those epiphany where I woke up and I said, okay, this is enough. I want to come home. So I went out and I got another job. So the business I'm in now is called Blackjacq Strength. And I am a personal trainer, but I specialize in kettlebell training, a very specific tool. I've also partnered with a school called International Sports Academy. They do courses, and I've created my own course and certification where I basically teach people how to gain strength in that particular tool. So if you pivot thinking that it's going to make some money, I can tell you, unless you're prepared to make literally 1/10 of your salary and change your lifestyle to 1/10 of your salary, maybe it's not for you, or you have to pivot 3 times to get into that 1/10 lifestyle before you know that you're ready for it. And the truth is, I really have never been happier because I think I'm at peace with myself. And I think if mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, you're not prepared to go on this road, then it's something that will be a bit uphill for you. And also some serious thoughts about your friends. Some of the friends, when you pivot out and you are nobody in corporate life, you have no connections for them, you begin to realize a lot of things about your friends, and then you make wise choices about who you actually treasure or not. So it's not all rosy because it reveals a lot, not about yourself, but also the people around you.